Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's your boy JC reporting back live with JC Prevails TV Bing with a one heck of a broadcast tonight, everybody. We have breaking news for Directive 8020. It's fairly recent, okay? We have gameplay demo optics to go over, okay, along with basically updates on the game. Now, I didn't even know that Gamescom. Hold on one second here. Let me mute this real quick. Very good. Excellent. So, yeah. We're going to be going over some optics in regards to Directive 8020. Directive 8020 is an upcoming survival horror, supposedly masterpiece. It looks really, really good, but it was delayed due to Supermassive having layoffs. Those are the rumors, but we're going to basically dive in and hope, we get into more detail about that because I really want to know what's going on. It was supposed to come out October 2nd. That did not happen. So it's rumor has it it's supposed to be going on for it's supposed to be launching next year somewhere out in the game sphere. So we're going to get right to it, guys. Then we have some top horror games, okay, of 2025 that you could take up on if you're looking for something a little new, okay? That'll be our reaction video as well. In a reaction video setting as well. We also have Outlast on nightmare mode on speedrun. Something I also like to do every now and then. I also like to implement certain challenges along the way. So hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right to it. Let me pop up the chat real quick once again. Restore the chat and pop that up. And we're going to get right to it. We're going to have some fun here. Okay? Yo, what's up, Dorothy? How we doing, gorgeous? Going on? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, also, before we get into it, okay, I forgot our verse of the evening. It's always important to keep God first. Here we go. Psalm 27:14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Very, very straightforward, but very, very effective, okay? God wants us to be still and know that he is exactly who he is, and he never changes, okay? We are to wait. When we wait on the Lord, when he has us wait on certain things to come to pass, he wants us to build our character. He wants us to work on ourselves. So if you're waiting on God for something in your life, chances are you're in what's called the wait room, WAIT, okay? And if you're trying to if you're pursuing something and if you're wondering why it's taking so long, it's probably because he's utilizing your circumstances to change you, because what he has prepared is nothing compared to what you think he has prepared. His thoughts are not our thoughts, nor his ways are our ways. But just know that he always has your best interest in mind in the palm of his hand. So I wanted to share that with you guys tonight, okay? Let's get right to this broadcast. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, okay? Here we go, guys. So this is basically Directive 8020 news, and we're going to be also going over the gameplay demo. We're going to be doing a lot of optics stuff today, okay? I had no idea that you only had access to the demo on Gamescom. This is news to me, but Directive 8020 was delayed. It was pushed back simply just because I guess there were layoffs. Stuff crashed out, and we're going to basically dive deep into it. I had no idea that they even touched up on this particular subject because this game was supposed to come out October 2nd. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I was very pained about it, but we're going to see what we could gather here, okay? Feel free to drop likes, drop comments. Helps me out a lot. And, yeah, if you're new to the channel, feel free to sub. And it's completely up to you. All right, let's get right to it, guys. Here we go. Coffee's still kicking in. I apologize if I slur my words a little bit or if I space. It's just the way it is right now. It's a late broadcast. Was not planning on doing a broadcast tonight, but things changed for tomorrow. Here we go. Let's have some fun here. Are we ready, Dorothy? Are we ready? Dorothy's ready. Frickin' A. Let's go. Let's see. There. And, yep. And I will deliver commentary when necessary.
What's up?
Here we go. Let me turn it up a little bit more for you guys.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Directive 8020 and another delay for this game. Now, there's part of me that's kind of happy about it, even if it's just to give the game a little bit of space away from other things that we'll talk about in this video. But Supermassive is at it again. They laid off more people. If you recall, I think about a year ago, I think they laid off 150 people.
Jeez.
It's been a studio that struggled. And I go back with them all the way till Until Dawn. I'm always going to have a lot of love for that studio.
No, we played Until Dawn. We played Until Dawn. That was one of the very first games we played by Supermassive, and it was a phenomenal success. That was with the, what was it called? The Bendigos or, no, what was it called? What were the monsters called? Wendigo? It was like a beast, like a like a transformative being of a person or a disfiguration. I can't remember. All I know is that it was a very interactive role playing game from what I remember, and it was basically based on these college kids that go into this cabin and stuff goes down in the terrain, and it was basically your classic cliche slasher or something along those lines. Man, gosh. And there were also actors and actresses that had roles in that game. It was very interesting. I had some of the craziest jump scares in my streaming career with that game. Wendigo, yes. That is, thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate that.
Though a lot of people have laughed, and it's definitely changed. I always give these dark picture anthology games a chance, and to be fair,
they're not bad.
Part of laying people off, which sucks, and you don't like to hear it, and you also don't like to hear like, well, if you're laying people off and you're also delaying the game, how do those two come together? I feel like it's probably because of money, right? They're saying, hey,
it's budgeting. That's exactly what it is.
Get this game out.
That looks amazing, though, chat. Like, hold on, I gotta go back here. Look at very carefully what we're about to. Loved Until Dawn. Yes, I did too. I didn't see the movie yet though.
Probably because of money, right? They're saying, hey,
it's budgeting. Absolutely. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
But because it's going to get delayed, we were expecting money at this point in time. We're not going to have that. We got to let people go. And, 36 is definitely less than 150. So, I don't know. Hopefully it stops.
Wait. They went down to 36 staff members? Did I hear that right? I mean, either way, that's a lot, right? Jeez, man. That's crazy. Wow. That sucks, man. That's crazy. Also, what did I notice here? Hold on. Let me go back a little bit here real quick. Hold on.
Money at this point in time. We're not going to have that.
So, yeah, no, I heard that this game, and I totally agree with this assessment. This game is like Dead Space meets The Thing. I completely agree with that.
Got to let people go. And, 36 is definitely less than 150. So, I don't know. Hopefully it stops. So you'd like to one day hear about, like, the studio gains 50 people instead of lays 50 people off. But one thing I will say is, talking about the quality of their games and of this game, last we talked about, even on my own channel, the game is looking good.
It's looking great, man. That's an understatement.
Back at that Summer Game Fest period, were really impressed by it. And it sounds different.
Yeah, the game was really good, Dorothy.
They did interviews. They talked about really going back to the drawing board and redoing things. Like gameplay systems even are changed in this game compared to other Dark Pictures games, and that's why it's taken so long, is they are not just copying and pasting The Devil in Me or whatever, right?
Well, that's commendable. I actually appreciate that. So, yeah, there's definitely a negative drawback to it, of course, with the whole, losing staff and, causing the delay. But if they are actually trying not to, do that whole, copy and paste crap and trying to actually bring some fresh elements into the mix to basically enhance and captivate the players and introducing new things, I'm all for that. Sorry for me talking so fast and whatnot, guys. Coffee. It's been a very long day. But yeah, no, this looks really, really promising, and the game does look outstanding.
To the next game, they're legitimately changing it. So, there's a disappointment with the delay, sure, and it's coming out now the first half of 2026. So
just make it worth it.
I do hate it when things like that happen.
Yeah,
now
me too.
It's got no date. It's supposed to come out October 2nd.
It was.
Now it gets pushed most likely 4 or 5 months and with no date. So you're probably now waiting until later
next summer,
in the fall, maybe November, December, for them to tell you February, March, right? But first half, that's a big range. You can go.
How much of a conflict it would be if this game came out with Resident Evil 9. By the way, we're launching this in February. Oh, man. That's like having Burger King and McDonald's literally adjacent to each other. The competition. It's almost unfair. I don't know. What would you guys think? Do you guys think that Resident Evil 9 would completely destroy Directive 8020? Without hesitation, I would say yes. Absolutely. I think Resident Evil 9 will absolutely crush Directive 8020 because Resident Evil already has a history. They already have hype. They already have a rapport with their gamers. I don't know. I feel like there's not really a contest there. However, it wouldn't be a complete flush out. If I implied that, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say at all, if that's the case. But yeah, no, that would be something else.
all the way till freaking June. It could really be
June?
almost a 9-month delay at the end of the day if they choose to do that. So hopefully that's not the case. And I mean that would really raise concerns of like I'm all for polish. I'm all for
Yeah, same
hey,
here.
This
Yeah,
game
make it
needs
worth
to
it.
come out in the best state possible. I've said that before, and
Yep.
again,
No, he's
all
not
this
wrong.
talk leading into the game is that this is gonna be a new one, a different kind of game for them, and it needs to come out well. But with that being said, I don't know if you need to delay the game, 9 months. Plus, remember, it was already, I think, delayed a couple times before it. So you don't love to hear that. The one thing I will say, again, in terms of competition, now it's tough. First half of next year, you have such a wide range. You know when GTA is coming out. You know when a couple games are coming out. But really, there's so many games, I imagine, coming out between January and June. Probably higher budgeted, type games like this. Maybe 20-plus games you'd imagine come out during that window.
So it's crazy. I feel that 2025 has not been a stellar year for the indie horror game genre. Just my personal opinion. 2023 was pretty awesome. 2024 was pretty decent actually. 2025, I don't know. I could think of maybe about 2 or 3 horror titles on the top of my head, maybe. But again, it just kind of sucks because now that this is delayed into next year, I feel like it's going to kind of like set a tide for 2026 being like, like it's going to give 2026 an opportunity to kind of like, release hopefully these awesome upcoming titles. And I hope we don't get ghosted with some of these titles that we are actually promised, like the game the game there's other games I can't really think of the top of my head, but I don't like feeling like we're going to get ghosted, or in this case, in this generation, they say shafted. I'm not really sure what that means, but it sounds like it fits. So, but yeah, no, I really, it's crazy. Without this game launching in 2025, I feel that 2025 just is kind of like, I don't want to say crashed out for horror, but it could have been better.
That's a lot of games that could be competition for it, but the competition this game was going to have, now it was going to release in October. In October, I like the idea of linking up the horror stuff. You also, by the way, have
Dude, look at that. That's crazy.
The
options, look at that.
After this game was supposed to come out. But the day this game was supposed to come out, Ghost of Yotei was supposed to come out.
That looks
and
so
then the
real.
Day after, Digimon's supposed to come out. Now, Digimon, probably not as big as the other one I mentioned, but...
Did he just say Digimon? Not gonna lie, chat. I thought I was just hearing things. He literally said Digimon. Did he really just say that there was going to be competition with Digimon? Hold on, hold. Chat, hold on a second. I have to rehear this. I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Day this game was supposed to come out, Ghost of Yotei was supposed to come out. And then the day after, Digimon's supposed to come out. Now, Digimon, probably not as big as the other one I mentioned, but Ghost is a pretty huge game. That is a big one.
Games like
October is packed. It's got a big Xbox game in the Outer Worlds. It's got third-party stuff. It's got a PlayStation thing. It's going to be a really big month. And specifically, coming out the same day as Ghost.
Who plays Digimon? They still make games like that? That's crazy. Like, if you like Digimon, fine. Kudos to you, right? I can't, like, that's just like, I didn't even know that was a thing still. What the heck? I was like, what, 12, 13 years old?
The game, I do feel like, would have struggled an okay amount. You could say different audiences. I don't know. I mean, yeah, horror versus, like, open world samurai type thing, but I like someone like me was going to get both of them day one and try to go through Directive 8020 quick and then, go back and forth, whatever the case might be.
Look at that, man. Looks
I don't
amazing.
think that's best for it. You would probably, ideally, like to give it at least a week or two, separation from other games. So,
that makes sense, right, chat?
Shoving all these games into the same time period when they didn't need to be, those two things for myself, personally, I am actually happy with the move.
You know what? No, he's absolutely right. I like this. He actually touched it up very, very well. At first, it's like, oh, this sucks. It's being delayed. But at the same time, if you launch the game much in the cluster of other gaming titles that should be bringing in a lot of hype. You're actually defeating the whole purpose of people solely focusing on one particular game. So no, I respect that analysis. That's pretty dead on.
It makes it easier on my life now with it not being there. But, I hope it's okay. I hope it comes out in a good condition and hope we get a release date. Like I said, I just feel like this can drag and this can continue in a negative direction. I think, the next time we hear about it, which hopefully is
you want it to be good
maybe
news.
around October, maybe sometime for Halloween. But it's tough. Like, you just delayed it, but without a date, when do you get to a point where you're comfortable giving a date for it?
I think it's going to be
Hopefully
March,
soon.
chat.
So
Somewhere
let me know
around
what you guys
March.
think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.
Okay, here we go. Our next video, chat. Let's get this done. Thank you guys so much for hitting the thumbs ups buttons in advance, chat. It helps out the content a lot. You guys have been doing awesome with that. Let's see here. All right, our next video. This is the gameplay, 13 minutes of prologue gameplay. This was only available at Gamescom. Now, me personally, I hate when they do this because I personally wanted to play the Resident Evil 9 demo. I wanted to play this demo. Like, there are just some things I feel that they make so exclusive for certain events. I don't know. I don't find that to be particularly fair, but it's not a fair world. So it kind of sucks, to be honest with you. So I have no choice but to react to this stuff, and some people think it's stupid. Oh, why are you reacting to a gameplay demo? I've gotten comments like that. It's like, well, I can't play it, but I want to see it, and I want to share the experience with my viewers. So what gives? You could tune in if you want to. No one's stopping you. You could just keep scrolling. Kind of like that. Anyway, my little, passive rant is over, if that's what it's called. I don't know. It wasn't really a rant, but you get the idea. Here we go. Let's do this. So this is 15 minutes or about 13 to 15 minutes of gameplay demo, of the demo. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's see. So what is it called again? Yeah, Directive 8020, 13 minutes of prologue gameplay. Prologue, such a weird word. Oh, wow. Work in progress footage.
Good evening, Carter.
Ooh, we have a Carter.
Good evening, Oracle. I would like a full situation report.
A meteorite has penetrated my outer hull, puncturing through to the maintenance facilities on
Graphics
deck
look amazing.
4.
Wow, look at this.
I have disabled systems across the ship to conserve power and isolate damage. The breach requires manual repair to prevent further damage.
Is our mission at risk?
My life support systems are intact.
I guarantee you, chat, how it looks right now in this setting is exactly what to expect with the game. I'm just telling you right now, if they're delaying it due to polishing up, they lost staff, they got to make up for it somehow. I really feel that this is exactly what we're going to be promised. I have high hopes. I do. I'm not going to overly get myself too high because I don't want to disappoint. Like, I don't want to get disappointed because it's happened before. But from the looks of it here, work in progress footage, I feel that this is definitely this is supposed to be like a cinematic masterpiece, like a cinematic gameplay or game. It's in and of itself. So it so far looks very promising.
But
it does.
advise a
100%.
systems reboot to provide an accurate damage report.
Systems reboot? Wouldn't that make it harder for us to deal with the breach?
Look at the expressions,
I
man.
don't know,
Wow.
Sims, but without a reboot, further damage could occur.
Dude, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. Dude, with what's been happening in my life right now, with what the Lord's been doing in my heart, dude, up top it says turning point. Bro. The Lord speaks like that sometimes, man. I'm telling you, that timing, that I got chills just now. Choose carefully. Authorize, reject. Reboot your system. Dude, I love this. These are consequential decisions. This is a consequential decision-based game. I love that because it gives you probably different endings. That's awesome. I love it.
Reboot your systems. Sims and I will carry out repairs regardless.
Makes the game more interesting.
Very well.
It's in the book of, I think it's in the book of Psalm. Hold on, guys. Wait. Are we good? Are we back? Are we back? Gotcha. Nah, in the Bible it talks about how the heavens declare the wonders of the Lord. Something along those lines. I actually could be paraphrasing right now, but it's okay. Let me just check the quality here. We're good? We're good? We're freaking great, chat. Here we go.
Look at that.
Look at that, man. That's freaking beautiful,
Gets me every
chat.
time.
Come on, Galileo.
We've earned a little holiday, haven't we?
He does a lunge outside the door. I love it. Look at that, chat. Oh my gosh. This is exactly what the game is going to look like, if not maybe a little better. Wow.
Your move, right?
How's that look, Dorothy?
King to C1.
Goodness gracious. In the Bible, it talks about how all of the stars and all the cosmos, you take all the sand, the grains of sand in all the earth, and you, like, I think times it by like 110, something like that, 100,000 or whatever. That's how many stars are in the cosmos. Something along those lines. I don't have it verbatim on the top of my head. I'm currently doing a study on this from lectures and stuff, but like it was something along those lines. It makes us feel so small. The glory of God is just so vast. It's insane.
You know,
It
I've
looks
tried
so
hard
cool.
not to fall over
Absolutely.
that I feel like I actually might fall over.
Please, don't do that.
Looks gorgeous.
But don't
It's
even
so
say that.
humbling. Look at that.
Still thinking it.
Yo.
Impact must have boiled the water and caused a rupture.
Sound
Doesn't
effects are
look
pretty
too
dead
bad.
on.
Doesn't look too good either.
If we fix the sealant system, it should fix that too.
Good point. Let's keep moving.
You ever see the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock? Was that what it's called? That movie was actually decent, in my opinion, at least. I need more coffee in my life. Oh, we have a hole. Oh,
We're
is that
nearly
what
there.
it hit? The asteroid or whatever happened? It was an object that hit them, I guess. And this is where it all goes downhill, chat.
What
This is the
next?
turning point.
Understatement of the year.
Oh, man.
What is that?
There it is, right there to the right, chat. Yep.
Coolant, maybe?
This is the iceberg, chat.
Could have leaked during the impact.
The override ports are right there.
That's insane. You guys ever see or heard of the game from the Chinese room called Still Wakes the Deep? Looks just like those monsters that they turned into. Again, The Thing meets Dead Space. I agree. You could even draw other games from it too if you want to, like Halo. Technically, right? A little bit, maybe? Or Doom, rather?
That did the job. Can we go home now?
Agreed. Back to the airlock. End of an era, huh?
Why is he looking at it like that? Wait, hold on. Let's see these options, chat. Hold on. He's looking at it like he wants to profess his love for her. Look at this. Let's see. He's so serious. Let's see. Worry, wish. Things are going to change. Wish. And the start of a new one. Interesting. Huh.
And the start of a new one.
Aren't you excited to see our future home?
Yeah. I just
Earth
wish
is
we
dying,
could
I
see it up
believe.
Close. Like
That's what
boots
she
on
was
the ground
referencing.
Close.
We're blazing the trail, man. It all starts with us.
Well, it's taken long enough to get here. Gotta be worth something.
Stop moping. Live in the moment, like me. Each day, one step at a time.
Sounds like something Matthew McConaughey would say. Like, hold on, let's see. Confide. We're pretty similar. Compliment. You always see the bright side. Yeah, you're such an optimist.
You always find a way to see the bright side.
Mum taught me that. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you react to it.
That is
I can
very
control the muscles
true.
in my face, so I use them to smile.
Yep.
It's hard too, though. Sometimes.
And that's why I try to focus on the now. The past isn't worth wasting a frown on.
Ooh, I love
When
how real
everyone's
the
up,
dialogue
you
is,
think I'll
chat. It's
relegate
very
us to coffee
complimentary.
making duty.
Or complimentary.
Knowing Williams, I wouldn't doubt it.
Time doesn't have the same meaning out here. Those guys close their eyes for a night's sleep. And they wake up refreshed like these 4 years meant nothing.
God, I'm older than Cernan now.
You know, he once told me this.
Jim!
Help! Carter, help me!
Use your thruster! Now!
I would do what he says.
Jim! Hit it!
Oh, it helps her regain control. Got it. That's smart. Wow.
Catch me!
That is so cool, chat. What? Oh my gosh.
Yes, Evie. I can come get you.
It's too late!
No, I can do this.
Carter, listen to me. By the time you fuel up, it'll be too late.
What do you trust more, chat? The ocean or space? I'm gonna tell you right now. I trust space more than the ocean.
I can't reach you, Sims. You're out of reach.
No way, dude. It's over? No, come on. Just like the movie Gravity.
Work to see too.
What?
Work to see too.
Get me.
Oh my gosh. What? So there's nothing he could do, huh?
Carter. Just stay with me. Carter.
Dude, oh my gosh. There's nothing she could do?
I'm here.
I would be too. She's probably traveling at about 50 miles an hour, chat. If not, maybe a little less. I don't know. Dude. That's rough, man. So she's got no choice but to linger in space till eventually she runs out of air and suffocates to death. Dude.
Hello?
This reminds me of the game Fort Solace, too. Oh, shoot, chat.
Hello?
Here we go. I don't know. I have no idea, Dorothy. Good question. Approach. Run. Let's do approach. It makes it more intriguing, I guess. He's got something in his hand. Be careful. Talking at it like it hears me. Dude. What's he gonna do? Whoa! What the heck? Wait.
Sims!
What? That's not her, chat. That's not her. There's no way that's her. I think whatever invaded the ship or hit the ship, I think it is a virus or some kind of contagion that basically alters life to make it look like a replica of what your of what you are mostly connected with in terms of memory, your love, what your affection is for something. Does that make any sense? I just can't find the right terms for it, but that makes a lot of sense. Exactly. Correct. He's being deceived. It's the stuff. Dude, that's creepy. Oh! Imagine if that was his wife, imagine being that scared of your wife. Dude, there's some people like that in real life. Yo, this is what happens when marriage counseling doesn't work. Ooh, look. Hold LB while crouched to move faster. Whoa, the coffee's kicking in now. While still remaining undetected. Okay, so we got some third-person narrative right now, chat. Okay, I wonder if you could actually make it first-person narrative as well, especially for the psychological horror elements. That would be really cool if you could switch in between, just like Evil Within 2. Enemies can see and react to your flashlight. That's realistic. I don't like that.
Carter.
My
The-
mom is dead.
The atmosphere.
Everyone is dead.
The atmosphere, the tension, it's all brilliant, chat, so far. Does she have a taser? Dude, you better run. She sees you, bro. She didn't see him? She's losing her mind. Do you hear her?
I've forgotten it all.
She's behind him, dude.
Everything.
She's totally behind him. Yeah, you better haul it, man. She's behind you.
We're all gonna die out here.
Probably got voices in her head. Dude. Wow. How did you not see? Come on. There's no way she didn't see you. Run. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Wow. Easy exit. Consequence.
This is Thomas Carter. 48 hours from flight crew wake up. Something's wrong with Sims. I lost her. I saw her float away. I know I did. How is she? Oh god. She's trying to kill me. There must be an explanation. She was gone. Now she's back on board. I think...
Door function overridden.
Oh, he's so screwed. He's done. It's over. Dude. Oh! Oh my gosh, what did she freaking do? Don't tell me that's how it ends, bro. It's crazy. Dude, you saw that, right? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Chad, that was nuts, man. Oh my gosh, that was brilliant. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to that, chat. That's going to be a killer game, man. Hopefully we'll have freaking Chronos the New Dawn finished before then. We'll definitely have it finished before then. My main goal is to finish Chronos the New Dawn before freaking Resident Evil 9. That's the hope. That game is actually pretty challenging. Didn't expect it to be. And I think there's about 10 hours of gameplay in that game, and we're like almost halfway through with it. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, that game was pretty crazy. So yeah, guys. So this next video here we have going for us, right? It's best horror games of 2025 to play right now. So if you're a horror game fan like me, okay, I don't advocate for any horror game. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't advocate for every horror game out there under the sun just because of my convictions as a Christian. But in all honesty, I love horror. I think it's a great genre, and it's actually really taken for granted, and it's underrated when it comes to actually bringing out very spiritual and Christian themes in terms of redemptive themes and just overall salvation and just the whole aspect of, in my opinion, when it comes to Christianity, I really feel displays perfectly in horror games in terms of the human condition and whatnot. Sorry if I I tangled up all those words. The coffee is finally kicking in. I feel great. I'm freaking hyped. But basically, what we're gonna do is watch this, do a reaction video toward this to see what games are out there right now that maybe you could utilize for yourself, and whatever that you may, if you're looking to spice things up, maybe you're unaware of some of the games that they're gonna actually show. So feel free to stick around. Let's get this going. I believe this is about to start off with Silent Hill F. I have not played that game yet, but I've heard good things. I don't know.
Look, I know what you're doing. I know you're searching around for new horror games to play in 2025. So why don't you just stop and let me help you out? Here's a list of new horror games to play in 2025.
Okay.
From AAAs to indies, with just a few surprises along the way. Chronos: The New Dawn is the latest from horror-centric studio Bloober Team. Off the heels
It's a
of
good
last
game.
year's spectacular Silent Hill 2 remake, Chronos is an original IP that merges together some incredible inspirations for a pretty rock-solid survival horror.
Though I will say it could have been optimized better. I will be honest. I did some research on the game. Obviously, we're currently doing a unit on that, right? We're playing it right now. I feel, based on the research, I feel they could have optimized it better. And based on the research I've done, they, I guess it has something to do with the fact that Unreal Engine 5 is being overloaded in terms of server capacity. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but that has a lot to do with some of the frame stutters that we're currently seeing, and apparently this isn't uncommon, unfortunately. So just, hopefully it gets better down the road, but that's what I've been seeing in terms of reviews.
If you were to take
good
the
game, though.
convoluted time travel of Netflix's Dark, the over-the-shoulder tension of Resident Evil 2, and the body horror grossness of The Thing with the weightiness of Isaac Clarke's stomps from Dead Space, well, you have
Oh, there you go.
Chronos:
Dead Space.
New
There.
Dawn.
Yeah.
If you're into horror,
Makes sense.
this one is likely already on your radar. So let this be a friendly reminder if you're looking for something a little zany in the sci-fi narrative realm, aesthetically fresh, and a snappy 14 hours.
Not to
If
mention,
you want the
14
current
hours.
take,
Holy
Chronos
Jiminy
is all right.
Crickets.
I think it's a solid and serviceable horror game.
No, it is.
It
It's
doesn't
very good.
quite hit the same heights as other heavy hitters like the Resident Evil remakes, Dead Space, or Bloober's very own Silent Hill 2 remake. But I think its protagonist, the Traveler, and
That's so cool. Hold on, chat. I want to relish in this real quick.
Bloober's very own Silent Hill 2 remake. But I think it's
That's so cool. Like, whoa, dude, that's crazy. And that's one of the travelers that we probably that probably came before us, and we're basically taking the place of. So, as of right now, in our installments of Chronos: The New Dawn, we've found two travelers so far, and we're trying to find a guy named Artur from what I understand. So yeah, this looks
protagonist, the
it's very
Traveler,
good.
and its hard-shelled narrative bring a new wrinkle to the genre in 2025. That
I
feels
hated that guy.
fresh, even if the gameplay at times feels a little familiar. Eclipsium is a cosmic horror game that plays like a fever dream. It blends pixelated textures into a twisting and winding nightmarish world that
Not into pixelated
consistently
games like
shifts
this,
and
though. Can't
molds
lie to you,
into
chat.
something completely different. In just about 2 hours, Eclipsium is guaranteed to take you on a journey. And considering narrative isn't at the forefront for this one, it's the game's atmosphere and tone that really will push you, the wanderer, to find a woman. Also, the mixture of mediums and using full motion video like an actor's actual
Wow, that
hands
was
is
interesting.
always A+
Wow,
in
okay.
my book.
Play this game
There's
sober.
No denying it. Heartworm is a
Heartworm.
PS1 survival horror through and through. While there's a lot of these style games floating around in the horror space at the moment, Heartworm isn't just another copycat. First, the creatures are fighting off, these mysterious TV static-like beings, aren't killed with guns, but with a film camera. This lays way to a subtle but original twist, as you'll find different parts for your camera that change the landscape of combat.
You guys ever see the horror movie Pulse? Those little silhouettes full of electricity, or at least that's what it looks like. Kind of reminds me of that movie.
Additionally, you don't use a flashlight like you would traditionally in other survival horror games, but instead rely on your camera's flash to temporarily light your surroundings, followed by the fleeting hum of a bulb going off. It is great. Unlike a lot of retro-inspired games in the space,
Wow.
Heartworm strikes a very good balance of being somewhere between classic Silent Hill and classic Resident Evil.
I was gonna say, I
Never
felt
leans
some
too
Silent
far
Hill
into
vibes,
one or the other.
for sure.
An open, sprawling, vacant suburb with logic-defying interior layouts is pure Silent Hill, while inventory management is scarce and intentional, with item-based logic puzzles leaning more to Resident Evil. Also, its controls and camera angles are customizable, making for an ideal playing experience, whether it's more modern
I hate spiders,
or
chat.
retro,
Keep
or
that in mind.
a mixture of the two.
You ever give
And
me
that
fan
is
mail
something
and give
I
me a
dig.
spider? I'm banning
Hey,
you for
would
life.
you look at that? Another PS1 inspired horror game. Oh, and it just so happens to be another published by Dread XP, the same publisher as Heartworm. Don't worry, the Lacerator is a much different vibe than Heartworm. In Lacerator, you play as a famous adult film star trapped in a gruesome dungeon where one wrong turn could set off a deadly,
the heck,
usually
dude?
very bloody booby trap that
What?
could take one of your limbs off. And then, yeah, well, you got to deal with it. Losing
I can tell you right now, chat, there's a very good chance we will not be playing that game on the channel.
limbs changes the paths you can play, and thus leads to multiple playthroughs with multiple endings. The Lacerator surely leans into grindhouse cinema, literally. Like
Grindhouse,
Heartworm,
yeah.
you can
Yeah,
choose
no,
to play this
no
one
kidding.
either with fixed camera angles or over the shoulder, which again is great.
What the heck,
Luto.
dude?
No, this one is not a PS1
Ludo.
inspired game. Instead, it's PT inspired. Yes, similar to PS1 style horror games, PT clones have become a genre of its own, from Layers of Fear to Visage and beyond.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Luto, in my opinion, was a disappointment for me. The demo, which we played 3 years ago, no one thought this game was actually going to come out. People thought we got ghosted. The demo was horrifying. It was awesome. Jump scares were great. The atmosphere was rich, very psychological, for sure. Took a mental toll, right? But the actual game was nothing like the demo. In my opinion, I feel like it it didn't convey the same kind of tension. It was very unnecessarily difficult in terms of puzzles. I hate puzzles, so I'm probably being a little biased in my own with my own condition, or how I see things. So whatever, right? Cool, awesome. But no, I don't know. The overall tension of the game and the scares, I feel, could have been. They could have stuck to the same elements from the demo, and I feel they didn't do that. And that's actually one of the biggest criticisms of the game from what I heard and have seen so far.
Luto, however, isn't your run-of-the-mill looping spooky house game. While it certainly is that, Luto separates itself from the bunch by way of self-awareness and some fourth-wall breaking moments more in line with Hideo Kojima's style of storytelling or even the Stanley Parable. In about 4 to 5 hours, Luto delivers an experience with some unexpected turns best witnessed for yourself. If you want the current take, the story kind of deviates from itself, which left me a little confused in what it wanted
I heard it
to
was
say,
confusing.
if anything at all.
We didn't
But
finish the
still
game. It was
remains
just
one
too
of the
much.
better attempts at trying to carry on PT's legacy in one of the more original takes.
Yeah, I wasn't
And
enjoying
that
it.
makes it
I think I got a
remarkable
refund
in
for
my
it.
book. Look Outside is awesome. It's a NES-style RPG where something cosmic and horrible is happening outside, and whoever looks outside will morph into a grisly and disgusting creature. So, despite the game's name, looking outside is the last thing you want to do. The game will have you explore your apartment building and requires you to carefully manage your time, as sleeping is a vital part of keeping your sanity. Combat is turn-based, and I found it to actually be pretty challenging. While it is a pixel art retro style
What the heck,
the creature
dude?
design still managed to make my skin crawl.
I feel like
at
I'm looking at
times.
magic
It's like
cards
if
right now.
Sweet Home and Earthbound were combined into one, and is probably one of my top personal horror games of the year. So, of all the games on this list, this one is probably the most family friendly and lighthearted of the bunch.
Looks like it looks like I'm like watching a Tim Burton game special.
But don't let that fool you on the spook meter.
It
Because
totally
still
does,
has
chat.
its share
Look at that.
of
That's
scares.
totally
The
Tim
Midnight
Burton
Walk is a
style, man.
handcrafted-
Tell me I'm
and I
wrong.
mean literally handcrafted dark fairy tale.
You ever see
where
Coraline?
You, the burnt one,
Nightmare Before
awaken
Christmas?
in a dark and wonky world where you befriend Pop Boy and go on the Midnight Walk. Along that journey, you'll encounter terrifying creatures that'll see you hiding, shielding your eyes to overcome them, or using Pop Boy to light the darkness. This game is short and punchy and probably is best described more like operating such as a poem.
Jeez.
Told in brevity, sometimes at a whisper, and other times with resounding grit. While it has a whimsy stop-motion charm, something like that of a Henry Selick movie,
Is that a cup of fire for a head? That little guy right there? What is this?
it, to me, sits more closely to Cartoon Network's Over the Garden Wall. It's creepy and
Oh,
scary,
it's got a
but
face
still
too.
somehow
Okay.
cozy and warm
What
feeling.
the heck?
Also, it's totally playable in VR for PC and PS5.
Oh, there you go, chat.
Additionally, if your headset has eye tracking, the game has
VR
mechanics
must
that
be
involve
nuts with this game,
closing
for
your
sure.
eyes to fend off beasts, which also at times can change environments completely. And closing your eyes will also require you to listen more closely to find certain
Oof.
items. In
She's
your
looking at me.
environment. It is pretty neat. No, I'm Not a Human is the second game on this
oh.
list about staying inside while.
Dude, those eyes. Look at those eyes, chat. What the heck?
No, I'm Not a Human is the second.
You guys ever see those freaking 80s movies where they wear the glasses and the glasses are just so, like, obnoxiously huge and they make your eyes look like they're, like, 3 times their size?
Second game on this list about staying inside while something outside is seemingly changing or affecting
And the
people.
dude's
I
character's
wonder
name
what
is, like,
event could
Ralphie or
inspire to
something.
shape games like that. Anyway, No, I'm Not a Human sees you posting up in your house as you're routinely visited by people roaming around outside.
I'm scared.
Desperate to seek shelter
Do not
from
let
a
them in.
world
Oh.
that is changing. You can let people in or not, but if you do, that means you must interrogate them to know whether they are, in fact, human. It's one hell of a tension builder.
What if they
especially
wanna be
since you'll have you
interrogated?
peering into people's
Let me in,
mouths
it's hell
and
outside.
eyes to ensure that they are what they claim to be. It's also just got a great mixture of styles. all of
Very
which
unique
just
style
give
and graphics, man.
unsettling vibe.
They're not bad.
If Silent Hill 2 Remake was a sign
Ooh,
of the
here we
fog
go, Silent
rolling
Hill
back
F.
in for the series, then Silent Hill F is the siren's song wailing that it's here to stay. Look, I can talk about this game all day, so
I'm sure you can.
I'll spare you and just say that this is this year's quintessential horror game, regardless of whether or not you're at all familiar with the series. Silent Hill F is the most daring in the franchise.
Okay.
Unabashed in its themes.
Now, I heard this from a source, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can fact check me. I don't care. I want that, okay? I want you guys to help me out with this. I heard that you do not need to play any of the Silent Hills in order to have basically an effective currency when playing this game. What do I mean by that? You will not get lost in terms of plot. There is no connection between the other games when it comes to this game. You could just play it alone by itself. Basically, it takes on its own, story.
Tackling intense topics of gender
That
roles,
looks so cool.
abuse, family drama, societal
Wait,
expectations.
what was- hold on.
Hence,
What
is
did he
the
say?
most daring in the franchise, unabashed in its themes.
Unabashed.
Tackling intense topics of gender roles, abuse, family drama, societal expectations.
Wow.
And does so with such grace and ferocity that it makes it one of the most admirable works of fiction I have experienced. Also,
Beautiful. I love
quick PSA. Rolling the credits in 10 hours doesn't mean the game is done.
And that's why I love horror games, because a lot of the horror games I am in favor of especially deal with those kind of issues, because it's real life and it helps. And I feel like elements of that nature, like dealing with real life stuff, draw a sense of empathy and actually basically make you feel like connected in terms of your humanity in it. I don't know. I could be a sensitive person. I like feeling connected to the game. I like having empathy for the character with growth development, and that's I don't know. I admire games that allow you to really connect in that kind of way because they're relatable to me.
As New Game Plus is essential to
You can
further
relate, for
understanding
sure.
the story and all of its nuances.
Look, that's
While I
crazy.
know
Look
it's
at that.
tempting to
Wow.
just go online
That's so
and watch
cool.
all 5 of its endings, I at least encourage a full additional playthrough as the
Dude,
moment-to-moment journey
what?
is vital.
We might have to
After
play this
all,
game,
the
chat.
endings aren't
This
just
looks
some
great.
binary choose this or that. There's a little bit more to it.
Wow.
Now, hold on a second. This game isn't from 2025, and you're right, but I wanted to mention it
4?
because, as part of the GOG preservation program, Silent Hill 4 The Room is finally playable on modern operating systems with cut content reinserted back into the game. And because of that, I have been able to play it for the first time in our year, 2025. And for the better, because it's wedged its way into being among my favorites in the series, nestled right next to Silent Hill 2 Remake and Silent Hill F. Also, of all the games on this list, this is actually the one that frightened me the most, with some of the creatures
Really?
making me gasp seeing them for the first time.
Well, I mean, if something came out of the wall like that, yeah, I'd be gasping for air too.
Outlier and isn't narratively tied to the other games, and for
Interesting.
the better. Tormented Souls 2, which you can't play as of writing this video, but you will soon on October 23rd. In the meantime, though, you can check out its predecessor. Tormented Souls has quickly climbed its way up to being a modern cult classic in the survival horror genre. This game has its share of grotesque monsters, a la The Suffering or Silent Hill. And
Yeah,
in
I didn't
that way,
notice.
it can come off a bit more derivative at times. But
Derivative?
where Tormented Souls really shines for me is that its puzzle solving is genuinely quite innovative and often requires a bit more
Dude, that
lateral
is
thinking
just
than
what?
insert missing
That's
item
crazy.
here or find shield key open locked door. Many items serve different scenarios and different use cases, and it all feels logical and intuitive. Narratively speaking, however, it leaves a lot to be desired and is much like its monsters, a bit derivative. But the game offers a unique enough design that I think it is worthy of checking out. True Fear Forsaken Souls Part 3. Woof! What a
Forsaken
title.
Souls
But,
3.
as the title implies, this is the third in a trilogy, and a trilogy I just so happen to love. Also, no, this isn't a survival horror, but instead a hidden object puzzle adventure
Whoa.
game. Look, I love playing these kinds of games, and the True Fear trilogy are among the best. If you're into classic style puzzle games like Myst, these are like Myst
I like the classic part, just not the puzzle part.
light, and aren't as convoluted or cryptic. Actually, if I can compare True Fear to anything on this list, it's like Silent Hill if there was no combat and it was just strictly puzzle solving and exploration. And there's actually some pretty genuine good scares thrown in the mix. Now look, if you just are looking for a night where you just want to chill out, maybe you don't want to fend for your life, and you just kind of want to explore a spooky environment, solve puzzles, then this is an excellent way to get a break from all the other scary, spooky horror stuff chasing around in other games. I
So yeah, guys, that's pretty straightforward. Hold on, I'm sorry.
recommend it. Okay, let me know what I missed in the comments, or if there's anything on this list that you hadn't heard of before that you plan to check out.
So yeah, no, that's good. There's definitely some games in this video I definitely would not probably put on this channel just for the sake of just what I've seen and stuff like that, and just want to be careful. But no, Silent Hill F definitely looks very, very promising, especially from the sound of like what it's dealing with and stuff like that. So there's definitely gonna be a plot. It's gonna have some a lot of emotion to it too. So I love plot-rich games. They're fun. Let's see here. Definitely gonna give this a like. I've already subbed to it too, so. For sure, yeah. Make sure to give credit where credit is due. I love that. All right, guys, here we go. On to the gaming aspect of the broadcast. Let's do it. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. Oh. Options. Hold on, chat. I know you can't see anything. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me here. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Graphics, textures, yep, full screen. Hold on, chat. Task menu. Hold on, chat. I gotta do something here. I forgot that this is what happened last time. There we go. Apply. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, very good. Okay, so now I want to move this over here. Hold on, chat. Bear with me here. I won't be able to see you guys in the chat real quick. Hold on, I'm changing things up. Good. There we go. I'm switching the planes here. What the hell? There we go. Perfect. Okay. Outlast. Here we go. All right, hold on, chat. There we go. Perfect. All right. Dude, that's crazy. Whoever just tuned in, welcome. Oh my goodness gracious, that's funny. I gotta hold on, guys. This is funny. The game is tripping on me a little bit. Hold on. I know you guys could definitely hear it. Oh my goodness. I gotta go to my actual task. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Something is, hold on. Yo, that's crazy. Hold on here. Yeah, there we go. Hold on. It's, for some reason, it wasn't cooperating. Try to. Goodness gracious. There we go. That's what I wanted. Hold on. I gotta get to the Outlast and just completely... There we go. Goodness gracious. Hold on. I have to... Thank you guys so much for your patience. The game is just kind of crashing out right now. I have to just completely destroy it. I have to get rid of it. Hold on. Let's see. Outlast. Just gotta reset it. Hold on. There we go. App. Yeah, just... Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. There we go. I'm closing out the game real quick because it's not cooperating. Then I gotta just refresh it. There we go. Come on. Come on. Nope. You're right there. Goodness gracious. Not responding. No kidding! Close it. Thank you. Close the window. Close the window. Close it. Open properties. Dude, the game's completely bugging out. Yeah, not responding. Yeah, I know that. Just close it out. Close it. Okay, let me try this. Come on. Okay, what I'm going to do, chat, is I'm going to just completely destroy the broadcast altogether and just hype it back up, okay? I don't know what's going on. It's a little frustrating, but we're just going to move on from this. I'll be right back, okay? I don't know why it's not. The game's completely crashing out on me. So I will be back, okay? Sorry, guys.